Welcome to this lesson on length, units, and perimeter. These are core measurement skills that appear regularly on the LANTITE. You will learn how to convert between metric units, choose the right unit for a situation, estimate lengths, and calculate the perimeter of different shapes, including composite figures. Let's get started. Here is our roadmap. We will start with the metric system for length, then practice converting between units. We will move on to choosing appropriate units and estimating real-world lengths. Then, we will calculate perimeters of rectangles, irregular shapes, and composite figures. Finally, we will tackle LANTITE-style word problems that bring all these skills together. Australia uses the metric system, and the base unit of length is the meter. There are 4 main units you need to know: kilometers, meters, centimeters, and millimeters. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. When converting to a smaller unit, you multiply because you need more of the smaller unit. When converting to a larger unit, you divide because you need fewer of the larger unit. Let's practice converting units. For 3.5 kilometers to meters, we are going to a smaller unit, so we multiply by 1,000, giving us 3,500 meters. For 245 centimeters to meters, we are going to a larger unit, so we divide by 100, giving 2.45 meters. For 68 millimeters to centimeters, divide by 10 to get 6.8 centimeters. For 0.75 meters to millimeters, we can do it in 2 steps or directly multiply by 1,000 to get 750 millimeters. Choosing the right unit is a common LANTITE skill. Use millimeters for very small measurements, like the thickness of a coin. Use centimeters for everyday objects, like a pen or a textbook. Use meters for larger things like the height of a door or the length of a classroom. Use kilometers for long distances like travel between towns. Having benchmarks helps with estimation. A standard door is about 2 meters tall, a fingernail is about 1 centimeter wide, and a marathon is about 42 kilometers. Here's a typical LANTITE question. A teacher needs border material for a rectangular display board that is 1.2 meters long and 80 centimeters wide. First, we must convert to the same units. 1.2 meters equals 120 centimeters. Then, we use the perimeter formula. P equals 2 times the sum of length and width. That's 2 times 120 plus 80, which is 2 times 200, giving 400 centimeters or 4 meters of border material. Now let's find the perimeter of an L-shaped playground. With irregular shapes, the key step is finding any missing side lengths. The full width across the top is 20 meters, and the bottom section is 8 meters, so the missing horizontal piece is 20 minus 8, which is 12 meters. The full height is 15 meters on the left, and the step down on the right is 6 meters, so the missing vertical piece is 15 minus 6, which is 9 meters. Now we add all 6 outer sides. 20 plus 15 plus 8 plus 9 plus 12 plus 6 equals 70 meters. Here's a composite shape a rectangle with a semicircle on one end. The rectangle is 10 meters long and 6 meters wide. To find the perimeter, we need the outer edges only. That is 2 long sides of 10 meters each, 1 short side of 6 meters, and the curved part of the semicircle. The semicircle has a diameter of 6 meters, so its curved length is half the circumference. Pi times 6 divided by 2, which is 3 pi, or approximately 9.42 meters. Adding it all up, 10 plus 6 plus 10 plus 9.42 gives 35.42 meters. Let's look at some common mistakes students make. First, mixing units, you must convert everything to the same unit before calculating. Second, forgetting missing sides in irregular shapes. Always label every outer side. Third, multiplying length by width for perimeter That gives area, not perimeter. Perimeter is found by adding all the sides. Fourth, using the full circumference formula instead of half when dealing with semicircles in composite shapes. This is a classic LANTITE word problem. A teacher needs to fence a rectangular outdoor learning area 25 meters long and 18 meters wide, but there is a gate that is 1.5 meters wide on one of the shorter sides. First, calculate the full perimeter. 2 times 25 plus 18 equals 86 meters. Then, subtract the gate width. 86 minus 1.5 equals 84.5 meters of fencing needed. Always read the question carefully. The gate means you need less fencing than the full perimeter. Measurement precision depends on the tool you use. A trundle wheel measures to the nearest meter and is great for outdoor distances like playgrounds. A tape measure is precise to the nearest millimeter and is good for room dimensions. A 30-centimeter ruler is also precise to the nearest millimeter and is used for small objects. On the LANTITE, pay attention to precision instructions. If it says to the nearest centimeter, give a whole number. If it says 1 decimal place, include 1 decimal place even if it is 0. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try these 5 problems. Problem 1. Convert 4.25 kilometers to meters. Problem 2. Convert 3,600 millimeters to meters. Problem 3. Find the perimeter of a rectangle that is 15 meters by 9 meters. Problem 4. A semicircular garden bed has a diameter of 8 meters. Find its perimeter. Problem 5. A teacher buys fencing at $12.95 per meter and needs 36 meters. What is the total cost? Check your answers on screen. Let's recap. For metric conversions, multiply to go to a smaller unit and divide to go to a larger unit. Choose appropriate units based on what you are measuring. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus width. For irregular shapes, find all missing sides and add all outer edges. For composite shapes, break them into known shapes and add only the outer edges. And always make sure everything is in the same unit before you start calculating. These skills are essential for the measurement and geometry section of the LANTITE.